Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and these stories come from London. And these stories definitely show that judges are taking gang violence very serious, and several attempted murder cases have resulted in people receiving nearly 30 years each in prison. 4 men have been jailed for conspiracy to murder following the shotgun being shot through a letterbox into a 30-year-old male's chest in the Northolt area. Back in 2019, Leon De Silva, 23 years old, Rashid Itani, 21 years old, Yasir Ibrahim, 25 years old, were all jailed for 27 years at the Old Bailey on Thursday, the 15th of July. Lile Aragai, 30 years old, was jailed for 18 years at the same hearing. All 4 men were found guilty at the Old Bailey on the 18th of May. The incident happened on Wednesday the 8th of March around 11 PM in the evening, when it's believed 2 of the suspects knocked on the door of an address in Academy Gardens, Northolt, after arriving at the venue in a stolen Range Rover Evoque. A woman opened the door into the hallway of the flat and saw the face of a man say, "Hello, darling." She was worried due to the fact they wasn't expecting anybody and it was very late, and she walked back into the lounge. Her boyfriend, a 30-year-old man, could also see 2 males standing in front of the door as he walked towards the letterbox, and then it suddenly went dark like somebody was covering it, and there was a muzzle flash and the man was shot in the chest with a shotgun. The victim's girlfriend immediately called for an ambulance as the suspects fled from the scene. Upon arrival, it was reported that a Range Rover had driven off at high speed from the address, and the victim was taken to hospital and his injuries were found to not be life-threatening. The same night, police were conducting patrols in the local area to tackle moped crime, and they came across the Range Rover that was being driven erratically by the group. The officers started a pursuit in which the owner of the vehicle failed to stop and continued to drive dangerously, reaching speeds in excess of the speed limit. The pursuit eventually came to an end, and De Silva and the passenger Itani were arrested for driving offences and taken to a police station. De Silva was wearing a balaclava and Itani was wearing body armour under his top and found to be carrying a large knife. During the searches of the car, police found 2 large knives in the footwell of the passenger seat. Searches were carried out of their home addresses and several items were found, like mobile phones, knives and machetes. Inquiries into the Range Rover showed that the pair were driving past the scene of the shooting minutes before it happened, and then they were seen a few hundred metres from the address at 10 to 11. And there was also seen driving away from the scene at 10 past 11. During the interview, Itani stated that he was not present during the shooting and was picked up on Lansdowne Road by De Silva. He realised the car was stolen and put on some gloves to avoid leaving any evidence behind. De Silva said in his interview that he was walking back from West Kensington when he witnessed 2 people step out of the Range Rover and pick up Itani on the same road mentioned in Itani's statement. Analysis of phone records from the stolen car linked the 30-year-old Aragai to the conspiracy, and he helped the group to carry out reconnaissance on the shooting on the same evening. Following forensic analysis of the stolen car, fingerprints were discovered inside that belonged to Ibrahim, and he was then linked to the offence, and mobile phone data also connected them as well. So it's the same old story, to be honest. Same 4 things that get them every single time. There you go, 27 years of your life, gone. Just gone like that. And that one guy, he did reconnaissance and he's got 18 years. Exactly the same as this other case, where 4 other men have been sentenced on the 15th of July following a trial into a violent daylight attack in January 2020. Ramari Dalston from Haringey was sentenced to 27 years in prison on Friday the 9th of July when he was found guilty again of attempted murder. Same sentence for same crime, different case. Kari Oram was sentenced to 27 years also on the 15th of July after being found guilty of attempted murder. Sharon Williams of No Fixed Address was also found guilty and sentenced to 27 years. A 17-year-old male who could not be named for legal reasons was jailed for 4 years after being found guilty of wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. A 5th person who can also not be named due to his age was found guilty of attempted murder. During the trial that started on Monday the 15th of February, the judge and jury heard the facts of the violent attack that happened at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 6th of January 2020 on Lansdowne Road, N17. The victim was a 26-year-old man and they rammed into his vehicle. The victim left his vehicle and ran from the scene. He was chased and repeatedly stabbed by the defendants, who had been in the Mercedes. After suffering a number of violent knife injuries in his back, abdomen and thighs, the defendants then ran away from the scene and got into the stolen Mercedes for their escape. The victim's injuries were non-life-threatening and he was discharged from hospital the same day. The suspects that fled went through traffic and collided with a number of vehicles, and the occupants of the Mercedes then ran off, and they made off on foot. The defendants discarded a large knife and a bandana around a garden fence when they were running. This was a blue one and it's associated to gangs in the area. And this is another reason that the police are identifying criminals and gang members via their bandanas. A Gucci wallet was found at the scene and they said it belonged to Johnston Dowston and his bank card was inside. They used the card earlier in the day and CCTV saw him taking out money before the attack on the victim, and he was wearing the same clothes in that CCTV. Williams was arrested on the 6th of February and found in possession of a large Rambo knife and was arrested for attempted murder and possession of an offensive weapon. Oram was arrested 2 days later for attempted murder, and Johnston Dowston was arrested 2 days after Omar's arrest in E6 just before midnight and was arrested at his home address. DC Cole Latham from the Met's Crime Command said, "This is a violent gang attack that resulted in a ride-out into a rival gang territory. It took place in broad daylight in front of school children and commuters, and the police say they're working tirelessly to try to piece together these crimes and convict as many as possible." So that's 2 different cases, several young men. You're not going to be out of prison until they're probably in their 40s. So I really appreciate you joining me for this brief episode. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Peace.